Hello, boys and girls, my name is Hatsusti and welcome back to Factorio. Here was the third installment of my Space Age series, and in this part we will go out to the outer planets, meaning Aquilo and everything that's beyond that. So today we will have to figure out what we need to get there, at least as far out as Aquilo. Build up a spaceship that can make the way there, load it with all the materials that we need out there to start our base there. And then probably next time we will actually make our way there. But for now, we are still unlocking or researching here some of the infinite researches, and I want to level up everything to the same level, that being 11. So that means we're currently here in the process of these ones. We have not yet touched those where we actually need the agricultural science. So until we get there, and then basically, because the next step is things that we unlock on Aquilo, so we can do quite a bit more research before we get there. But as you can see, that takes quite a bit of science packs to go on. So let's have a look in here, and especially planet-wise, what we can expect here. We see there are big asteroids out there, and so far on the inner planets we only had to deal with medium-sized asteroids, and we could deal with them with just our turrets. But if we look here, they have quite a bit more health here. Electric is no good. Explosion 10%. Well, it's okay. Fire does not help. Laser does not help. Physical as well. So with these large asteroids, we actually need rockets to destroy them. So we need to have, if we look at an example spaceship here, here we just have gun turrets up front to shoot everything down, which does a good enough job, especially as we have level 11 of damage. And I think we need to come up with a different setup where we combine the gun turrets with rocket turrets. We will need to produce the ammunition, rockets, and the yellow magazines. I think yellow will be good enough here, all on that spaceship. We want to keep it rather on the slim side, so we can travel fast. And what I want to do is, so far we have not really delved into quality, but if we look at the possibilities for asteroids collector, if we get higher quality, we get a larger collection area, but we also get more arms out of it, and this is basically a big bonus, as well as higher speed. And I think we can go up to level epic, because the only thing, yeah, legendary, we only unlock once we have the research from Aquilo. But we can get to the legendary level there. So that's probably something I want to set up first, because it will take a while until we get the collectors in the required quality that we want. So that can run in the background while we build up the rest of the spaceship. There are various ways how you can get machines of higher quality. One is to just stick in quality modules and hope for the best. But as you can see, so far we have not reached anything higher than our normal quality. What you then can also do, say, okay, I want to craft something of higher quality, and I take higher quality ingredients, but for that, of course, you need that higher quality ingredient materials. And this is where we can help out a bit with recyclers. So let's put up something here, because here, for example, we need let's start with the low density structures. So let's request that, and we will also chuck in quality modules here. And that then basically works in the same manner. It reduces the components to its ingredients, and every once in a while we get something out that has higher quality. And with that, we can then go about and say, yeah, let's do that again, but let's craft ourselves a bit of low density structures, higher quality. And here we will say even higher quality. And we can do that all the way up to here. And this one we don't need, but we have done this, we have set this up for the low density structures. We need to set this up for the other two things as well. And then there is another thing that we can do, and I will show you once I have finished this setup here. Now I have this basic setup for all the 3 ingredient materials for the collector, and as you can see, we also need recyclers for the collectors that are on a quality level not what we want to have, basically this one. And so far we have already produced one of a higher quality level. Recycled that and redo the process. Important is we have quality modules everywhere, and We can then also produce the higher quality processing units eventually. Here we actually have already produced 12. We have not produced any of those. Same here for the low density structures, and probably when it comes to the engines, there we are really lacking because input material. But there is something else that we can do. So if we look here, we need input material on a higher grade. And if we look down here, what we deliver, it's not everything that we need in order to construct these things right there. So what we can do is, for example, let's take a bit of steel here. And recycle the steel with quality. So that should give us a chance of steel in higher quality. We can do the same thing for copper. We're already doing it for the blue circuits, but we can basically also say, okay, let's try this out for green circuits. And then have a factory where we try to get this together for green circuits, right? And of course we do that for all the levels that we can have. And then we're also delivering iron plates. So let's request some iron plates here. Right there. And that should give us a higher chance of producing higher quality green circuits. With the red ones, there it's a bit more difficult because we're not delivering the plastics, so we cannot on site say let's recycle plastic to upcycle it to a higher quality, but we can do it with the red circuits and get plastics out of that. And of course from the low density structures we also get plastic out of that. Then of course we will have this one here, this one there, and that one. Then we also need output. And I think for the intermediate products, we do not need recyclers, because eventually they will go in one of those 5 and being crafted and then recycled. So here we just have to wait until we actually get our asteroid collectors of legendary quality, and until that happens we can place a few more lights here and there. And now I think I have to start on thinking about how to design a spaceship that can survive the journey all the way out to Aquilo. So far I still don't have any of the collectors at the required quality. But at least I made some progress here on our spaceship. I have let out various parts that are not yet fitted together, and that's what we basically want to do now. So let's turn this off so we can deal with that as we go along. Here, this is basically the thing that drives, that powers the whole setup, and we have to have that a bit, yeah, let's have it off-centered like this. And that basically means we need to request uranium cells to power. We need also water, and we shall then also have to have a few accumulators, and we need at least one solar panel to kickstart the whole thing, because we need to insert the uranium cells from here into there. But then we have here rocket and ammunition production. And we have various other pieces here. This is the setup for our fuel that I stole from the other spaceship that makes the round to Gleba, as well as the engine here at the back, because I think those two did us pretty well. We have considerable speed, we can manage the whole thing, so no worries there. Need to connect the water pipe here. and we will have to see where that goes. Let's take this piece and basically have it here, and then let's take this part and move it down to here. So this then basically is the output. Yeah, this is the input, which means on here we need iron and the explosives, because for this we only need the explosives. And iron we have down here. So let's add that like this. This is where we get the calcite in, and we need this here. Nice. This we pull over to that side. That means we have here our production for get rid of that, this, that. This is our production for the oxalite asteroids, where we split it up into ice and calcite, but then also recycle a good part, because if we look at this here, you can see the asteroid chunks, these ones, big oxidized asteroids, that's the main asteroid that we will encounter. We will not have that much of the carbonic ones or the metallic ones, and it does not matter here. So we will have to convert those to get a somewhat even distribution. So let's take this. We can add it here. Let's remove that part. So this is the ice. And what we also want to deal with is any surplus that we might have goes out into space. So that's that. But then we basically have this here, the calcite. Let's see, can we bring that down here with a blue underground? No, but probably green one will do the trick. Should be long enough. And then here we will have input from this side, which means we have that there, and that aligns nicely with the water input that we also need on that side. So here we need carbon and we need the iron. And we also need iron here as an input. So here, that's our iron collection, and we also collect, actually, we could do this. There we get 10 iron, 4 copper. With this one, we get 20 iron, and we don't care about copper. So that's good. And let's bring that to here. Respectively. Let's, because this should be aligned. And let's make it this way. Move that out of the way. Then we can copy that part. And have it there. Get rid of all of this. We fill this in. And basically that's that. There we bring up the iron. And then okay, maybe here on top. Oh, let's not have this down here. We probably should have it down there. Filter out the carbon, because the carbon we don't need further down for our explosives. But we want to have a bit of underground action going here. And that goes to here. That should do that trick. Then let's grab this port down here. Have it there. What? Oh, well, let's remove all that. What's going on here? Okay, let's just go over to here. Copy that part. Once again. Oh. So here then. Then this one wants to be connected there. And this one we can bring over to that side. And on the ground here. Connect that, that's the calcite. That's the there we need another underground. Oh, yeah, we should probably also do something with the output. So if we do it this way, and then have red. And we can then bring this over to here. Like so. And there. And oh. That one needs to go to here, which means underground there. And this. Go there. And then we shall have a bit of storage here for rockets and ammunition, and then basically can bring that back around here. Now near here in the front we have this setup. I think that does nicely. It probably needs to be a bit wider, but we can basically do that here on this level. And I think further back we don't need collectors that have that high quality, because most we want to collect here is in the front, and I don't expect to have much to collect or even shoot here on the sides. So let me finish the setup, and then we will just have to wait for the collectors in the quality to be created, be produced, and the spaceship to be finished. Spaceship is now complete, but the question, is it good enough to make its way to Aquilo and back, or is it over-engineered? We'll have to wait for next time, because this episode is already quite long. So I will see you then, and we will figure out the answer to those questions. Goodbye!